So let's talk about cervical disc replacement. Cervical disc replacement has actually been around as an emerging technology or available medical treatment for many years. The number of disc replacements that have been done is in the hundreds of thousands. Cervical disc replacement is a wonderful treatment for patients with a problem in their cervical spine that leads to compression of the nerve root or the spinal cord. What we do at surgery is we go in through the front of the neck under general anesthesia and remove the cervical disc that's affected completely. We remove all of the associated bone spurs, disc herniations, or anything else that's abnormal. And we get to a place during the surgery where we can visualize the nerve roots exiting the spine and the covering of the spinal cord. Once we reach that point, we insert an artificial disc into the space where the disc was under x-ray and make sure that it's in good position, and then we close the wound. The patients have surgery typically at 1 or 2 of the cervical levels, and the surgery is done as an outpatient. So one question is, why wouldn't we replace the disc in every situation if it's such a good treatment? And the reason is there's some situations where cervical disc replacement is not the appropriate surgical treatment. One is if there's too much arthritis or the alignment is off, maybe the disc has a slip in it or the bone is irregular. For those situations, disc replacement is not appropriate. It's not sufficient enough to maintain motion and stability of the cervical spine. And in those patients, we typically would do something more aggressive like a fusion. What are the risks of cervical disc replacement? The main risk, I think, would be some sort of device failure. So we put the artificial disc in, it maintains motion, but maybe it becomes dislodged or it isn't sufficient of a surgery. And in that case, we have the option of converting to a fusion. So fusion becomes a secondary salvage situation for if a disc replacement isn't working. As with any surgery, damage to the surrounding structures is possible, such as the nerve root or the spinal cord or one of the big vessels in the neck. But fortunately, those complications are very rare. And then with any anterior cervical surgery, we can sometimes get hoarseness of the voice and difficulty swallowing, which are typically temporary. What's the expected recovery? It's thought that maybe cervical disc replacement has a shorter recovery than a fusion, and the reality is I think they're about the same, a few weeks probably. We do 1 or 2 levels of disc replacement. The patients, again, have surgery as an outpatient. They go home, they can be back to their activities of daily living right away. Typically we'll have some neck pain and stiffness, just feel uncomfortable for a period of time. They can gradually return to activity over the course of about 6 to 8 weeks. Some patients recover a little faster, some recover a little bit slower, but that would be a typical time frame. What is the main benefit to cervical disc replacement compared to fusion? Some people think that the main benefit might be a faster recovery, and I think it's really the likelihood of having another surgery. When you have a fusion, it puts more stress at the adjacent segments, and when you have a disc replacement that maintains motion, the levels next to the disc replacement are protected. And so the likelihood of having another surgery is lower. It's not zero. Some people will still have an adjacent segment go bad or have the original disc replacement need another surgery, but the risk or the likelihood of needing another surgery is much lower. To summarize, cervical disc replacement is a good option for patients with degenerative cervical disc issues without significant arthritis or deformity. It's an outpatient procedure that can be done at 1 or 2 levels. And the main risks include device failure or revision surgery.